Planning a wedding can be a mental challenge. Don't let all of the to-dos push you over the edge. Everything you need is just a mouse click away at Utah's brideaccess.com. Groom not included.
Well, it is that time of year. We're getting Thanksgiving, we're getting Christmas, and whose family do you go to? Do they come to your house? Robin Seville from the Utah Commission on Marriage and Bride Access here to talk to us about solving this problem. So how do you go about starting this to begin with?
It's a pretty big challenge.
It is.
We often talk with the newlywed couples, but before coming on today, I talked to several people who'd been married years, and they said they were still trying to figure out. And there was the battle going on. In fact, this morning I posted on our Twitter and Facebook page, what suggestions would you give? And I got one guy that said, go to whomever gives you the biggest gifts.
That's a good one. That works.
And another one said, live far, far, far away so you don't have to go and have to decide.
There you go.
And just based upon those comments kind of tells us, yeah, there is some strife sometimes.
And you say, but really sometimes you do want to live far away because it ruins the holidays when you fight like that with family members.
You do. You know, you have traditions that are ingrained. The bride, and in this case, the bride and the groom, in their families, they have holiday traditions that are important to them. It's important to their families. Suddenly you get married, and that person has other traditions and things that's important to them and their family. And sometimes those schedules conflict over Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Okay, so let's talk about some ways to combat that. You say make a list of those traditions. So what, just visualizing it on paper, maybe, you know, comparing apples to apples?
Well, think about your own family. There's probably things on Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's that are very important. For example, one family might have on Christmas Eve a big Christmas dinner, and that's when everybody comes together. That's the most important time for that family. Perhaps for the other person, Christmas morning at 6 a.m. is important, where everybody gets together and open the gifts. So what is most important to each one of the families, and try to attend those portions that are the most important to the individual family.
You say you try to get alternating schedules, like one year, maybe that, and you also need to be open to new things as well. You have to kind of set it up and say, all right, so this is important to me, this is important to you, let's figure out what we can make work together.
Yeah, you need to. One of the replies we got on our Facebook page this morning was this one lady said that what we try to do is we try to correlate with the rest of the married couples so that every other year we spend the holidays with this family, and then the alternating year we spend it with the other family. And sometimes it's just a lot of communication. Isn't it interesting, most of the segments I do with you guys, it comes down to communication.
Which is very true.
And respecting the traditions of the other family.
Well, and I like how you said that. Don't forget to leave out all the in-laws. Because it is another family, and you've married into that other family, so you need to remember that too.
When you said yes or I do, you said yes and I do to the in-laws as well.
Well, Amanda just said, but Grandma's alone if you alternate. Can you bring Grandma?
You know, one of the things a couple should do is, first of all, they're now husband and wife. They should start their own traditions as well. Doesn't mean that you don't attend the family events on either side, but start some of your own things. And a good idea is maybe invite some of the family to come to your place or to your apartment. Invite them to come to you.
Or you can do that like a rule. That's what my husband's decided. He says, we are having it at our house. If you'd like to come, you're invited every year.
Here's the date, the time, and the place.
From both sides.
From both sides, so you have your side and your husband's side.
He says, our house is the place. Santa comes to our house. You can be with us.
And I'd say to the parents of the couple, remember that when you got married, maybe some of these were a challenge as well. Keep that in mind. So try to be as accommodating and know that you went through this too. Make it as easy as possible for your child and their spouse. And don't take it personally. It's the way it is.
And then I do sticks around for a very long time. Robin Seville from the Utah Council on Marriage and Bride Access, which you can watch right here on ABC4, 9:30 in the morning on Sunday morning. Okay, coming up, we are giving away some of my favorite things, and it includes what I talked about for my wedding. So part of it's in there too. Stay with us.
In our efforts to help you plan your wedding and take out some of the stress, brideaccess.com has a new wedding blog, and it's just for you. Get detailed information from the top wedding professionals in the industry, plus tips from our own brideaccess.com experts. Happy planning from brideaccess.com, where you can find everything you need to plan a wedding, grooms not included.